Well, I grew up in Rocky River, and there were very few homes where I grew up. There were fields and orchards, and we could play. The Normandy was not built. I went to Beach School, which is located in Rocky River. I thought it was a wonderful school. We walked back and forth. Of course, there were no school buses at that time. And Rocky River was a perfect place to grow up. We played out in the streets. We played kickball. We climbed trees. We made our own little hut so that when I was a bad girl, I could run away and go into my hut. Of course, my parents knew fully very definitely where I was, but I didn't think they would. And by the time I came home, the one time after being naughty, there was no supper for me. I had to make my own. Growing up in Rocky River, I felt very privileged. I went to Beach School, then the junior high, the senior high, and after that on to Ohio University. At Ohio University, my major was speech pathology audiology. I was very lucky. This was the beginning of that particular program. So the professors treated us like we were solid gold. They wanted us to promote this new college presentation. So I then, after college, I had job offers everywhere because most communities did not have speech pathology audiology. They didn't have a speech therapist, they didn't want one, they didn't know much about it. However, the city of Brooklyn grabbed me. And I had a marvelous career there for 30 years, working with boys and girls with hearing deficits, perhaps a stuttering problem, a lisping problem, whatever speech problem they might need help with. I truly enjoyed it, and of course I very much enjoyed growing up in Rocky River. And fortunately, I married a gentleman who was from this location, so we stayed here. And I feel so fortunate to still have so many friends from Rocky River. When I moved into the Normandy, I was running around hugging everybody, and someone said, "Why are you running around hugging everyone?" I said, "Well, I went to high school here, and some of the people in the Normandy, I went to high school with these people. I'm so happy to be here." In my 50s, I had kind of the responsibility to take care of 7 family members. So that gave me a great deal of experience and perhaps a lot of knowledge in we do grow older, we must make decisions. So my husband, who did have quite a heart problem, but we thought we should perhaps move into a community on the early side. We went to every community that we could think of on the west side of Cleveland. And he passed away. So then I decided on my own that I wanted to stay in Rocky River and live just several blocks away from where I grew up. Now Rocky River has the Normandy has many features which are quite attractive. One of those, nobody else, as far as I know, no other community has a balcony. We have larger suites than I think most of the local communities. We have beautiful grounds. Other communities may have lovely grounds, but ours are quite exceptional. We have a beautiful walkway, magnificent gardens, and because of the suites, the location, of course at the time I didn't know much about what it would be living in any retirement community because we never know until we get there. But I moved in and have enjoyed every moment. The move here was very easy for me. I happened to have tragic surgery, which meant I had to move somewhere where I would have some help. And moving into the Normandy, knowing so many people when I moved in, that was a great deal of fun. Well, I feel that the food is excellent. I feel that it's excellent. I really enjoy every meal. And of course, during the COVID, we've had them delivered to us. And I just think it's such a treat. Someone knocks on my door and there's a wonderful dinner and I don't have to cook anymore. And not having to cook anymore is delightful.
Right.
Unless you're especially interested in cooking. Most women, most of us, after 50, 60 years of preparing wonderful meals for our family, we are ready to have someone serve us. Living at the Normandy, there are a great many opportunities to join in the fun which is presented at the Normandy. There are crafts presented, there are lectures, there are movies, there are conversational groups where we discuss political ideas or news ideas. Exercise classes are wonderful, and exercise is so important because as we age, many times people tend to sit too much. So the exercise classes keep us going. I think the Normandy offers quite a glorious number of classes, which are very enjoyable, or we learn a lot and enjoy.
Right.
Well, having liquidated for 7 family members who did not make the proper decision, I feel that it's imperative that when your house becomes just a little too much work, oh, I have to take care of the lawn, oh, I have to do the garden, oh, I have to clean everything, it is truly time to think about getting out of your house. So many people, I love my house, I can't leave my house. And they may stay there till 90. Well, then they have to hire people in to help them. And if that's your choice, it would never be mine. Because one of the most important things, in my opinion, is being with other people. Being with other people can be quite uplifting. Loneliness, as we read in many magazines, and as we realize, loneliness can be very depressing. And my recommendation is don't stay lonely. Come and move into the Normandy.